Hey everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval Creed. Today we'll be reviewing the final world mission for the Leyte Gulf part of this campaign, and we will be using North Carolina today, or as I have the sister ship, Washington. Now, the main reason I chose North Carolina is because she has really powerful 16-inch guns, and she has pretty decent armor, good speed, and her anti-aircraft suite is one of the top strongest for all tier 7 and 8 battleships. And honestly, she's just a really good ship as well. Her guns can sometimes be a little bit inaccurate, but I do have the accuracy module fitted. Not the anti-aircraft module equipped at this time, but I'm going to try and stay at range anyway, so I feel like having the accuracy is going to pay off more than the anti-aircraft. But it could also go either way because in this game, we are going up quite a few, or up against quite a few carriers, about 4 of them total. And there's also about 5 battleships, 4 heavy cruisers or so, actually more than that. And then some light cruisers, and then quite a few destroyers. So that's definitely going to be a strong opponent, but we do also have a strong allied team as well. So without further ado, let's toss ourselves into the last mission, the Philippine Sea, and see what we can do. Alright, so on our side we have 2 S6s, we have a Bogue in the form of Yorktown. I feel like that should be a Enterprise. We have 2 Iowas, we have 2 Massachusetts, actually 4 Massachusetts, 4 New Orleans, and then 3 Fletchers. And we're going up against 2 Shikakus, 2 Shohos, 2 Yamas, 1 Nagato, 2 Congos, 4 Takaos, 2 Tones, 2 Mogamis, 2 Miyokos, 2 Uganos, an Akazuki, and a bunch of Kageros and Fubukis, it looks like. And the game has started. Now, like I said, you want to stay with your team to provide as much anti-aircraft defense as well and concentrated fire. So I'm actually going to head towards the right here and join up with all these battleships here. I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied, so do keep that in mind. I'm going to ignore the destroyers for right now, I feel. And I'm going to try and take out some of these cruisers first. Alright, so let's see. Because our guns are really good at killing cruisers. And honestly, I don't have a good chance of hitting the destroyers, I would feel. Now, I actually haven't used North Carolina in a while, so I might have to get used to the shell velocity a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit slower than what I'm used to, so we'll have to adjust for that here. Let's actually drop down to 3/4 and send another volley towards this Tone. And there we go. Alright, we are in the middle of the battleship part of our fleet, so we do have pretty good cover from the enemy carriers at this time, and we can see what we can do to help support them as well. Alright, so one of the destroyers is already gone. That ship's being worked over a ton. There's just a lot of targets that are easy to handle, but you just can't handle them quick enough. Though our carriers are definitely going to make short work of this cruiser right here. Gone. Agano, not a good target for armor piercing, at least not of this caliber. So we're going to aim for this Takao instead. And somehow actually completely missed. Alright, we're going to try and actually get up closer to our battleships to help keep them alive because they're still taking a ton of damage. This mission is not impossible. However, it definitely is easier with higher tier ships, such as Brandenburg, or the top tier German cruiser. I was able to pass it solo with that ship. But then again, I'm trying to use tier 7 and 8 at this time, so that does kind of put me at a disadvantage. And these are not South Dakotas, those are actually North Carolinas. So I fit right in. Oh, there's also a Congo over there. Alright, well, as juicy as a target as that would be, we're still trying to one-shot all these cruisers. A little bit of damage. I'm actually not too worried about the battleships or the carriers, really. Obviously, the carriers can do a ton of damage if you let them, but with as much anti-aircraft fire as we have over here, I'm pretty decently protected. And the battleships, they have been a thorn in my side in the past, but I have enough firepower now, as you can see here, to deal with them. Alright, let's actually put our fighter up. It might be worth it to take the extended AA range that the AA module provides, just so you can protect your fleet. But then again, that means your accuracy would drop at that point. We're about to lose our second battleship. And we're not actually taking many of these cruisers, or these aircraft down. And I hope our carriers can survive long enough. There is enough of them over there that they can deal with a couple cruisers, but they won't be able to sink them quick enough before they get that position gets overrun. It looks like we're turning this way. Alright, now we're getting some decent anti-aircraft defense kills. But all of these ships are now out of range. Actually, nope, let's take that back. Let's see if we can finish up. Well, they're kind of maneuvering wildly now. Let's see if that's enough lead or not. Trying to catch up to these carriers and take them out of the game here. Well, Mogami is aground, so maybe we can get a couple shell hits. Citadel. At almost 22 kilometers, I think I fired that at. Near max range. Ooh. Wow, those are gonna miss. I was locked on target, but then it decided to unlock me. Alright, so my battleships are turning back south. So unfortunately, I can't afford to take on the carriers by myself. I'm going to have to reform back with the battleships because if I go solo, I'm going to be focused and subsequently sunk. I may already be focused at this point. These planes are just going right overhead. Alright, so let's go try and slap some cruisers around and try and work on the enemy aircraft as much as possible. Well, we already went through a lot of our aircraft. Alright, so Mogami is back in range, so let's see if we can take her out. Trying to figure out where all these aircraft are, if they're attacking me or not. I'm going ham on all of them though. I got 35 kills alone. And there's my shells. And they all missed. Okay, now we're being attacked. One fire's not going to kill me. I'm going to let it burn. Alright, do we have any hits this time? Yep, there we go. Wow. Destroyed a secondary armament, a main gun, and torpedo tubes all in one shot. Or one salvo, I should say. That's 3 fires. I'm going to repair that one. Let's see if we can work on this Miyoko. North Carolina, if you have enough experience with her, I'm sure you could do a lot better at long range than I am. But the shells are just slow enough that it's actually quite difficult for me to figure out where I need to aim. Alright, so it looks like the battleship line is reforming and heading towards the west now. So let's see what we can do about that. Oh, there's another Yamato over there. Let's send some love her way. Alright, reforming to the right. Let's put our last fighter up. Alright, it looks like our carriers are still alive, which is a good thing because even though there's a ton of air or cruisers and ships over there, none of them exactly have strong AA. Though combined, they will knock down quite a few planes, but we also have 3 carriers, so we should be able to take out some of these cruisers with just our carriers at a consistent rate. We're still taking down aircraft. We're up to 50 aircraft now. Still knocking down ships as quickly as possible. And so there's a Nagato and a Congo following this Yama here. Oh, it missed the Indiana and actually hit me. That's funny. Knocked out the steering gear on the Congo. So that's probably a repair right there. And this is pretty much what you have to do from now on. You have to, I wouldn't say babysit your team, because you're actually being helped more by them than you're helping them. You might help them survive, but in the long run, they're still sending a ton of shells downrange and doing a lot of damage to the enemy team. And they're keeping the enemy team from focusing on you. So that gives you more time to work them over as well. Ooh, Yama's turning broadside. That's a mistake. 18-inch guns or not, you still have a squishy broadside. And North Carolina shells are enough to punch that. Though not with that salvo, but that was still over 11,000 damage. Alright, so we are a little bit faster than the bot North Carolinas, though there is an Iowa right there. That helps us. So that actually helps, or our additional speed helps us to try and get in front, or at least in a position to protect against enemy carrier aircraft a bit more. We can intercept them quicker. Wow, the Congo's already down as well. So there's just a ton of destroyers, this last battleship, and the 3 carriers. I have no idea where these destroyers are. I'm thinking they're actually probably on the border over there. Not quite sure. But after this battleship goes down, we are going to have to start focusing on these carriers, wherever they may be. And honestly, I'm actually going to bring back my fighter, because that'll help us with spotting the destroyers later on. There we go, there's the last one. Let's switch to high explosive, because whether or not we run across destroyers first or carriers first, high explosive will be pretty good for any of those. And it looks like we're going to head down towards the south here. I like to think that the bots head towards the enemy bot ships. However, I don't know if that's a solid rule. So we'll see. The carriers have been pretty quiet lately. So either they're just biding their time or they're actually out of aircraft. I highly doubt that they're out of aircraft, but it's definitely possible still. Alright, so let's head back this way. Ooh, there's a destroyer, so they are down in that area. Since that destroyer was spotted, I do expect our friendly carriers to start launching strikes against it. As you can see, the entire wall of torpedo bombers heading that way. And that will give us eyes on any other ships that are in that area as well. I'm going to pop a heal while I can. Well, there's a carrier. Alright, so they're all in the bottom corner there, or at least that's what I would expect. Let's see what else do they find. So far there's only the one carrier and one destroyer. And they're attacking the destroyer. And that is one very dead destroyer, I would say. Look at the amount of torpedoes that are coming our way. Just... oh, it's a Shoho too. It's not even one of the Shikakus. They're still dropping torpedoes on this poor destroyer. Oh my gosh. I don't even know if any have hit yet. But we are in range of the Shoho here, so let's send some shells downrange. And we're turning towards the west now, so let's follow that. Couple hits? Nope. Alright, well that's one carrier down out of 4. So we still have 3 left, but there's only 2 that are really strong. And they're heading back down this way, but I think I need to start heading north. Because I'm pretty sure the carriers are up at the A line. So we're going to separate from the battle group here now. And kind of go hunting on our own. Let's pop a plane in the air. I'm almost full health and I have enough heals that I feel like I can deal with enemy carriers. Oh, they're probably all caught in this corner if I remember correctly. Yeah, they're all going to be there. Or at least the carriers are. So we're going to go tango with them. Oh, there's actually another destroyer over here. Alright, so with the number of shells that are coming in at this destroyer, I'm pretty confident that my team, however inaccurate they may be, will be able to take care of this. And it looks like the next aircraft strike from the carriers is actually heading towards the destroyer I'm heading towards. So we'll be able to get eyes on what else is over here as well. So I'm going to take back my fighter then, since the carriers will be doing the spotting for me. And I think there's going to be a couple destroyers on this island here in the middle of my screen, and then there's a ton of them over here as well. So I do have to be careful about torpedoes, so I'm actually going to come around this side so I'm not sandwiched in between them all. And let's see what these aircraft can see. So we only have the one destroyer seen right now. Is there really nothing else over here? Interesting. Last time I played this game, they were all in this corner here. But if you're not seeing anything, then it makes me wonder where they are. There's still 7 destroyers out there, including this one. So 6 unsighted destroyers. These missions would be a lot better if you didn't have to go hunting for the ships. Like they would just run into islands or they hit the border and they just stop. They don't have any other instructions at that point other than just keep going forward. So therefore they just stay in the map border. But these maps are so big that you can't really check everywhere for these before the time runs out. I still have 20 minutes, but I mean, I have had games where it's down to the last wire and I still can't find the ships. Alright, so as soon as this destroyer is spotted, she's gonna be taken out by me. I'm still undetected, so there's no torpedoes heading my way. And there she is. And there she goes. Alright, now we have to find everyone else. Let's put our plane in the air and keep going this way. I am still detected, so between here and like Alpha 6, there are some ships that can see me. I think there's actually going to be a destroyer over here. I'm not quite sure. Alright, so let's assume that the largest detection, or the smallest detection is about 6 kilometers for a destroyer. Ooh, there's a carrier right there. Are they going straight through the middle? Because that's definitely a good way to get our carriers to attack you. There's also a destroyer there. Okay. So it's a different algorithm than the last time I played this. There's a ton of ships over here. Look at that. Well, let's attack the carrier. Both carriers are over here. Okay. All 3 carriers are over there. And a bunch of destroyers too. Alright, so it looks like we have found a lot of the enemy ships now. No fire. That's upsetting. Alright, and let's try and use our speed to get back into the action. Oh, they're all turning away. I'm not going to hit that. Alright, let's see if we can hit this Yugumo here. Alright, so there's what? 6 destroyers left. Let's see how many are spotted. There's 4 spotted right now. So 2 are still up in the air somewhere. Alright, there goes 1 carrier. The amount of torpedoes that these carriers can dish out is just overwhelming at some points. It's like a shotgun effect. You put so many in the water, something is going to hit. So there goes 1 carrier. We're still working on the destroyers and the other carriers as well. Now I'm hesitant to chase after all of these because I don't want to run away from the border and have the last 2 destroyers that I don't have accounted for be at said border, and then I have to check everywhere else again. But it seems to be that they are all around here, or at least the majority of them are. I have a feeling that there might be some destroyers at Bravo 5, but I obviously can't check that, really. Okay, so there goes another carrier and another destroyer. Let's see what we can do against this carrier as well, since it is the last one. Don't think I gave enough lead. Okay, so there's 2 destroyers. Oh, well, we already accounted for those. So there's still 2 destroyers that we don't see yet. Maybe they're still over there, though. That'd be nice if they were. Alright, there goes one of the destroyers. Got a fire on the carrier. That's definitely helpful. Okay, there's two more destroyers over there, so I think that's all of them. Because I think there might be one in the smoke screen right there. So that is the rest of the team, so we don't have to check the border anymore. We just have to sink them, and that is a ton of torpedoes for this poor Shikaku. And she's definitely going down now. Alright, 3 destroyers, there's 2 of them. I think one is in the smoke screen right here. But it's not like I can actually hit anything. Well, maybe this Akazuki. Let's send some... Yep, and there's that last Kagero. Send some more there. Oh, actually, 3 fires on that Akazuki with 5 shell hits. Oh, that's one toasty boy. Now let's see if we can repeat that on this Kagero. No hits at all. And no hits at all. Cool. How's that Akazuki doing? Yep, she's toasty. I think she's actually going to go down to that. Or at least she should, I should say. Alright, so we're not actually going to have that much damage this game, I feel. Because we kind of played it safe and stayed with the team. We didn't just YOLO rush in and take everyone on ourselves. That being said, though, it is still technically a victory, and it's a tactical victory instead of me just, like I said, YOLOing. So this Akazuki actually survived, so she wants a little bit more. And who am I not to oblige? There you go. And just to add insult to injury, I destroyed all the torpedo tubes on your ship. Right, might as well pop another heal, though we didn't really take damage at all this game. We had 2 dive bomber strikes on us, and that was about it. And we soaked up a couple shells that were aimed for other targets, but missed them and hit us instead. 334 health. Can we make that 0? Close. She's going to make us chase her all down, but the carriers will say no to that, and she will be sunk in a few moments. And with that, we finish the last part of the Leyte Gulf campaign world missions. Let's see how we did. 360,000 damage, 8 ships sunk, 128 shell hits, 60 aircraft shot down, 12 citadels, 8 fires, 1 module destroyed, 6 secondary hits. We had 40,000 damage in high explosive, 301,000 damage in armor piercing, 15,000 in fires, and less than 3,000 in secondaries. Which is fine. Like I said, we did play it safe and stayed with the team for the most part, so we weren't sunk right off the bat. So that did impact our damage numbers, but that is one of the better ways to win, is to protect your own fleet and have them help you out later on, while also trying to do as much damage as possible while you're protecting your own fleet. So I was in line with the battleships. I was trying to snipe the cruisers with armor piercing and try and one-shot them. And then I was also using my anti-aircraft defenses to try and knock down all the enemy bombers. With that, that does complete today's video. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe. And tomorrow we start the last 4 world missions with the East Solomon Islands part of the Pacific 1942 campaign. And we have now switched over to tier 9 and 10 battleships. Well, not battleships alone, but ships in general. So I will see you all tomorrow, and thank you for watching, and take care.